The Shep Naz Podcast begins now.
Welcome to the Shep Naz Podcast. As you might imagine, it is
Worship Wednesday.
Yes.
Ooh, come on now.
Yeah, and we are back in our nice little chilly home inside the closet here.
Our podcast refrigerator.
All the equipment loves how cool it is. You know, it behaves very nicely in the cool.
Yes, it does.
It's not as nice for us, but it's all right.
Joe's only been in here for hours just trying to survive.
Every so often somebody will open the door, check in on me, like he's not blue yet, so just keep going.
He's still
get another
breathing.
podcast in.
I'm glad you're still kicking, Joe.
Thank you. Well, thank you for coming in and warming my heart, if nothing else is warm.
I'm glad we can at least do that.
All right, so last Worship Wednesday was from Strawberry Hill
Yeah.
in Kansas.
Field trip.
And
What a place.
that was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
That's a place where dreams are made, is Strawberry Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does.
Nightmares are dreams too.
Yeah. It sounds very quaint.
Yeah.
It does.
It's not.
I did not see any strawberberries.
No. Saw a lot of other things.
There was a hill. I'll give them that much. There was a hill.
I got the hill part right.
I don't know about the strawberries.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. But yeah, so we're back in action. And actually, it's kind of a unique week for us. Unique week. Look at that. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Sorry.
Whoa.
Mind blown.
What?
Oh, man. So, as you know, we were at M25 last week, and it was an awesome conference, and we'll probably talk a little bit more in depth now that it's just the two of us here on Worship Wednesday, not the whole staff, which was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to do that with the whole gang. But uniquely, this weekend we're going to another conference that just so happened to line up very close to M25. And you've heard us talk about it on the podcast before, but we are heading to Warren, Michigan, to the Woods Church for Overflow Conference 2025, and very excited about it. I think, it's cool because, how do I want to say this? Like, M25 was amazing. Got so much out of it. But Overflow is a worship arts conference specific to what we do on a weekly, daily basis. So really looking forward to it. Again, obviously, we are not responsible for any happenings that are going on.
Yep.
So similar to what we experienced at M25 is really looking forward to just being in a room full of people that are on fire for Jesus and worshiping with a bunch of other believers, specifically other worship pastors and worship leaders and tech ministry and musicians. And so, yeah, we're leaving for that very soon. And there's a lot going on with it. Mm-hmm. You excited to go?
I'm very excited.
This is Noah's first Overflow.
Yes.
Yeah. It's really fun. You'll
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been to a worship conference before, but it was very big. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of still just surface level stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm interested to see, since this is a little bit smaller, not thousands and thousands of people, what we'll dive into. So I'm very excited.
You'll be able to report back your contrast and comparison between Kansas City and Detroit.
Yeah.
But you'll go through Detroit and actually to get to where Overflow is. It's a little bit on the north side, which is the nice side.
It's not as sketchy.
You won't stay in the worst neighborhood around.
No, we won't.
I don't think so.
No. We're staying in a hotel, and we've stayed at that hotel every time we've gone. It's very nice. Free continental breakfast, hot continental breakfast. Wow. It's nice. It's got a pool, a workout room. It's really sweet. You're going to love it.
Sure, I'll see you at the gym.
Kristen's gonna make sure you're down at that gym.
Oh, yeah. She has in the past, and I'm sure I will be.
You've gone to the gym there?
Yeah, I did. I rode the bike.
He's one of those guys that, like, the hotel has a gym, so he shows up like, this is my daily routine.
I want everybody to think that I do this on a daily basis. That's why, of course, I'm going to work out while I'm out of town, because I do that at home every day.
He's got baggy gym shorts on with black socks and Crocs.
Yep. 100%. I have no athletic wear whatsoever.
This is what I do every day.
Wear my Crocs, my PJ pants, and a cut-off band T-shirt.
Exactly.
I mean, all they have to do is look at me and tell that
he's a gym rat.
I'm a gym rat for certain. That's why people are so intimidated by me.
Right.
It's my big physique. Obviously kidding. But no, really looking forward to it. Like, again, we're saying, like, with the breakout sessions in particular, I've always, like, I can't think of one breakout session that I've been to at Overflow over the years that, like, wasn't awesome. And I think, again, like the M25 stuff was awesome, but again, so this is geared towards what we do.
Right.
So being a part of, like, last year, we went to a Q&A session with Steph Gretzinger's band. And I got to pick the brains of, like, professional worship musicians and how they do stuff. And also there was a session by Jen Smale, who's one of the speakers this year. Again, she is in charge, or I think she's the one that started the Worship Probs podcast and does like the Worship Leader Fails stuff on Instagram. So she's super funny, but a phenomenal leader, like not just vocalist, but a phenomenal, like, team leader.
Yeah.
And she did a huge session all about passing the torch. And I really love that. You know, it's one of the main reasons why, like, when this position became available for another worship person, I wanted to find somebody like a Noah. And I've had Noah in mind. You know, we've done stuff together for years. But I remember specifically that session being really kind of challenging for me, and I think everybody in the room, that we always should be looking to pass the torch. We'd always be looking for what's next, because there will come a time where I'll be too old and irrelevant to the worship ministry as it being good and relevant. I'll just be old and worn out, and that's okay. So to be able to pass that on to somebody like Noah, who's younger and has just as much passion and way more talent than I do. So super stoked to be able to see that. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Do you have anything in particular that I mean, again, you've never gone to one of these things, but, like, something that you're looking forward to being a part of it?
Yeah, mainly just worship nights. Haven't been to. Obviously, there's at M25 there was worship, but not like a long extended period of time. So I'm looking forward to the worship nights, to sit in that and just worship through other people leading. And but also I looked at one of the breakouts I want to go to is the dude from Red Rocks. His name's Corey, who's talking about experiencing the presence with your team and how to pretty much host a presence on your team.
That's good.
So that's what I'm looking forward to the most, on how to look forward and how to gather information on that, and stuff we can do to engulf the Spirit more.
Yeah. Yep. Something I love about Overflow too is that in every session, every breakout, every speaker, you know, it's not like, here's how you lead worship, step 1, step 2, step 3. It's everything's just about, like, being in the presence of God and leading people into the presence of God. And even through, like, some of the tech ones I went to last year with Carter, the guy we had lunch with, which is a random story I'll share here in a minute. And he did one that was all about camera angles and camera shots. And so there was a lot of, you know, technical talk, but through that, it was like, what you're doing is leading people into the presence of God. And so you have to do that even with your camera shots too.
Yeah.
You know, making them authentic and real. And so a lot of that, like, being up on the platform and showing, like, shots of people actually worshiping and, you know, getting expressions. And it was really cool. Like, even that was like, you know, you think, oh yeah, we're just going to talk about camera shots. No, it all came back to leading people into the presence.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a homework assignment for you guys.
Ooh, homework.
You know, I don't know if you realize this, but you guys are on this podcast every Wednesday.
Right.
You see where this is going?
I think I do, Joe.
So
I think I do.
there's a lot of people up there that you should be connecting with and say, hey, we want to get you on this podcast.
Yep, 100%.
And so we have some kind of unique connections with the Woods Church. Yeah. In fact, both of the Pastor Johns up there, So their lead pastor is Pastor John, and their worship pastor is Pastor John, and they're not the same person. And they were both at M25, and got to talk to them for a couple minutes. And here's the unusual connections. First of all, their lead pastor interned under our pastor Rob as a youth pastor when Rob was at Grove City, and their worship leader John actually interned here when he was fresh out. Well, he was still in school, and he was interning for worship at that time, and he interned here. So we have some connections there, and I want you to leverage those.
Deal. I think we could do that,
and we'll hear maybe some things that they have to share us also.
For sure. Would love to get worship leader John specifically, because we've kind of built a relationship over the years through Overflow, and actually at a time Shelly and I went up and took a couple days before their prayer summit that they did.
Yeah.
Which was really, really cool. One, because they even took the time to spend with us, and it was literally just like, hey, come up for a couple extra days, and we're just at your disposal to ask any questions, teach you whatever you want to learn. And then we get there, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you guys are doing like a huge event in like 3 days, and we're taking up 2 of those days of your time. Like, not a big deal.
Whatever.
And it was just like, they were so welcoming and so cool. And so not only did they give us like one-on-one time where we could sit down with their staff, like I want to sit down with John, or at one point I sat down with their social media person. But then they were like, yeah, we got the big staff meeting coming up. If you guys just want to like be a fly on the wall and see how we do it, like you're part of the team this week, so just come on in. And just treated us with such respect and just welcomed us in as if we were one of their own. And because of that, we've been able to stay connected with John a lot. So there's been times where if I have a tough question or I'm struggling with something in a leadership role, I'll be able to shoot him a text or a phone call, and he'll be happy to kind of talk and guide me through it, which has been really neat. So cool guy, cool guys and gals. So we're looking forward to it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
All right. So, anything else you guys want to share?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Mm-mm. Did I mention the free continental breakfast?
I'm excited for the free continental breakfast. Is there a hot tub?
No, it's
that
like,
I don't know.
What continent is breakfast? What
is it from Asia?
That's what it means.
Which continent breakfast is it?
It changes every day. Keeps you on your toes.
It's intercontinent.
Yeah,
it's all of them.
You're gonna love it. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Looking forward to it.
Well, we'll let you guys off the hook for today.
Thanks.
So you can go get ready for your trip.
Thank you.
Actually, as you're hearing it, they've already been there and back, but as we're recording, they're getting ready to go. So we hope that you've enjoyed today, and hopefully it's a challenge to you to maybe dive a little deeper into the things of worship. And you could also check out everything that's going on at the church by going to shepnaz.org. We encourage you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You could even search on YouTube for the Overflow Conference and see some of the videos from there. For Pastor Zack and Noah, I'm Joe. Have a great day. This podcast is a production of the Shepherd Church of the Nazarene, Gahanna, Ohio. Email to podcast@shepnaz.org and let us know what you think.